Okay, hello everybody. Today we're going to be watching two videos. We're going to be watching the lore of every Forsaken survivor and the lore of every Forsaken killer. And then after that, if I feel up to the challenge in another video, I'll watch Matt Pet's video of the lore of Forsaken solved. But until then, we're just going to be watching these two videos starting with the survivors.
What is the lore of the survivors in Forsaken? You may be surprised, but even though they're considered the good guys, many of them did something horrifying to get themselves trapped in the world of Forsaken. If you don't know, Forsaken is this alternate reality where the main villain, the Spectre, traps these survivors and kills them over and over again for all of eternity. But why? Why these specific survivors? Well, we'll start off with Noob here. So in Noob's description, they're described as being scared but still pushes on, wanting to find a way to escape out of the world of Forsaken. Yeah, you can even see it in Noob's expression. He's always seen to be scared and nervous looking. Even with speaking to other survivors, he's constantly stuttering, again displaying his nervousness.
Catch your force field, my good sir.
See, Noob used to actually be cheerful and even playful back in the day. He actually used to be friends with Guest 666. The two would always hang out and everything would be happy, but then something would happen. And something would cause them to stop hanging out. We don't really know what exactly caused these two to stop being friends. I'm sure that will be revealed once Guest 666 is released as a killer. Many people believe he'll be the next killer right after Noli. But yeah, it was losing this friendship with Guest 666 that will cause Noob much distraught, pretty much leaving him to be quiet and withdrawn from talking to the other survivors. Not only that, but one day Guest 666 would also just disappear, and him disappearing is kind of a reference to him getting banned from Roblox. Yeah, it was actually Builderman that would ban Guest 666, but Guest 666 is unaware of this, so most of his hatred is going to be towards Noob, because he actually thinks that Noob did something really bad. And we also know this because in the lobby, if you go to the box right here, there's actually a letter that's written by Noob.
It is?
Noob here saying, "Hey Sixer," aka Guest 666, it's Noob. And then unfortunately, a lot of the letter is censored right now, but you do see words like how he regrets so many things, and there could have been many things that would have prevented what happened that
wait, I didn't know Noob wrote that. Who the hell is Guest 666 though? I've never heard of that guy.
Again, we don't really know what happened, but it does seem like Noob is in the wrong. And looking at the model of Guest 666, he doesn't look like he's gonna forgive Noob right away. Yet the rest of the letter ends with, "You feel as if more of the censored text will reveal itself later." So yeah, it looks like in the future, we're gonna see exactly what happened between the two. Builderman. So Builderman is known as the big boss of Roblox HQ, and as a promise with Shaletsky, the both of them are going to do everything they can to help everyone.
So Shaletsky's like a dev of Roblox, pretty much.
Now, not much is known about Builderman at the moment. Again, we do know that he is responsible for banning Guest 666, but again, he's unaware about this. But I'm pretty sure once Guest 666 is in the game, he's gonna find out the truth. Yet, something to note about all these survivors is that in some way, shape, or form, they've all done something wrong to the killer. Like next up, we have Shaletsky. So to state the obvious, he's friends with Builderman. Again, they both made a promise to help everyone else in Forsaken, but Shaletsky actually holds an extremely dark secret, something that the other survivors don't even know about him. See, the secret that Shaletsky does not tell any other survivors is that he is the actual creator of 1x1x1x1. The other killer in Forsaken. Yeah, if you ever read Shaletsky's information here, the first thing that's read is Blame John, his first name. And if you read 1x1x1x1's bio, it reads the physical manifestation of pure malice, hatred, and negativity himself, the one who despises no one else more than the former admin Shaletsky. And even in his abilities, mass infection, it says right there again, Blame John. Yeah, this is a reference to a post from a long time ago that talked about the whole 1x1x1x1 myth, and it says here, he mentions the evil 1x1x1x1, so that's where the name comes from, Blame John. This is a real post from an actual Roblox admin, which yeah, John is the whole creator of this myth, but in the world of Forsaken, 1x1 is literally the embodiment of hatred. Like when Shaletsky is the only survivor left in a round, and the killer is 1x1x1x1, the song will change to the creation of hatred.
That's a banger beat.
And yeah, one by one.
Also, in his kill screen, when he wins, Shaletsky is the one he kills. I always notice that.
Wants nothing but to kill Shaletsky, and this is a secret that he won't tell the other survivors. See, Shaletsky is actually afraid of telling the others that he personally knows one by one. He doesn't want to tell the others because he thinks that the other survivors will no longer trust them. He's also the only survivor to call Desikar by his real name, Matt, since he knows him personally. Yeah, Desikar in real life was also a Roblox employee, same with Shaletsky. But yeah, as for Shaletsky's sin, if it wasn't obvious, he's the creator of the killer 1x1x1x1. Elliot.
That's insane.
So Elliot describes him
love
as
Elliot.
the best employee at Builder Brothers Pizza, and now in the world of Forsaken, he wants to help in any way he can. And yeah, pretty much all of his abilities are support items. Another known thing about Elliot is that he's always been employee of the month at his job, as he would often have to work every job in the pizzeria due to being understaffed, but he never actually minded. Yet Elliot is often seen as always putting others over himself. Like literally, even his health bar is at 80, while many of the other survivors are typically at 100. But now, as for Elliot's past, we know that he's worked at the pizzeria for quite a while, and we also know that he had to suffer through the havoc of Cool Kid hacking work at a pizza place. We know this because when Cool Kid kills Elliot in Forsaken, he says,
He says that to everybody. Wait, whenever I play Elliot mostly, and whenever Cool Kid murders me, I just figure he says that to everybody. I thought it was just a normal voice line, he says.
Work at a pizza place, which made Elliot dislike both Cool Kid and Cool Kid's father, 007 and 7, for bringing Cool Kid to the pizza place. Elliot's typically shown to want to help the other survivors by giving them pizza, but he's much more hesitant towards
My family has been the best to you and your work. You're thankful for a slice of pizza.
7, but even then, he's still willing to put aside his differences to help him. And so now what's Elliot's sin? Banning Cool Kid. 007 and 7. This is actually one of the saddest lores in Forsaken.
Oh no, not this.
Information here. They were previously
This is the only Forsaken lore that I know pretty much.
Exploits, but he had a change of heart after gaining a son, his son being Cool Kid, only to then lose him after a series of unfortunate events. But yeah, the lore of 7 and 7 is that he used to be a former hacker and exploiter, often causing havoc across Roblox alongside his best friend Noli, and this was prior to Noli finding the Void Star. But yeah, 7 and 7 would be hacking until one day he discovered a baby on his doorstep. This baby was actually Cool Kid. 7 and 7 wanted to be a good father, and so he retired from hacking and took the time to dad. Yeah, it's actually kind of sweet that 7 and 7 wears his shirt because Cool Kid likes it and thinks it's funny, though as Cool Kid would grow up, he did eventually learn about his father's past misdeeds, and so Cool Kid would also cause havoc similar to his father, mainly at the Builder Brothers Pizzeria. Yeah, this would eventually get to a point where Elliot would eventually ban both Cool Kid and 7 and 7 from the establishment for life. And then at some point, Cool Kid would go missing. We don't really know what exactly happened, but we do know that Cool Kid is actually 10 years old as of right now, which is a reference to the real life Cool Kid who was exploding in the year 2014. But yeah, with Cool Kid being missing, this caused a lot of distraught to 7 and 7. Now in the world of Forsaken, it's been unveiled that Cool Kid now became this horrifying monster. And when Cool Kid meets his dad, there's a chance that he can say this.
It's so nice to see you, Dad.
Not only that, but when 7 and 7 is the last survivor and Cool Kid is the killer, the song Plead will start playing. Yeah, and because 7 and 7 is pretty much the father of Cool Kid, he kind of became an outcast with the other survivors as they don't really trust him too much. Again, Elliot, while still kind of angry,
you know, that explains why 07's abilities are literally just him saving himself. He doesn't really help anybody else. He just kind of saves his own ass, which is kind of insane, honestly.
Him will still give pizza to help him, and Shaletsky also shows sympathy for 7 and 7's loss, since they both regretted decisions they've made in the past. But Shaletsky, on the other hand, does choose to stay quiet about this. Now, as for the reason why 7 and 7 is in the world of Forsaken, well, I can't really say because it's against the terms of service on YouTube and Roblox, but
what?
Probably get the idea.
What? How is it against terms of service, bro? That's kind of insane. What could possibly be that bad?
Honestly, a very tragic story for 7 and 7. Guest 1337. So he's actually based off of the guest from the animation by the YouTuber Oblivious HD from the video The Last Guest, where he fights against the Bacon Army.
What?
Yeah, Guest would have a normal life.
I've never heard of that, bro.
His parents by the Bacon General. This caused him to have a hatred for the Bacon heads. But Guest would later on get married and have a kid, and then shortly after joined the military to go to war. And here he would fight off the entire Bacon Army.
Bro, what?
This animation,
what is this lore?
337 did survive, but in the world of Forsaken, he actually ends up sacrificing himself by using the grenade against the Bacon General.
Oh.
This sacrifice is how he ended up in the Forsaken
so he
realm.
sacrifices himself and he goes into Forsaken.
His wife and daughter and keeps a picture of them in his pocket. He also deeply regrets leaving them to fend for themselves. And now, for whatever reason, the Spectre really does not like Guest 1337. Like, the Spectre gives mostly every survivor some sort of item to defend themselves, but Guest really only has his fist. But yeah,
that's all he needs, bro.
Same as 7 and 7. 2-time. So 2-time is
one
of the most corrupt survivors in Forsaken.
I bet he is.
They're known as a fragile cultist that holds a terrible secret, bearing nothing other than a sleek dagger and a manic smile. They're able to earn a second life through risk and sacrifice. Yeah, that's right.
Insane.
So 2-time is actually in a cult known as Spawn, where they believe in respawning / resurrection. And yeah, 2-time actually had a friend called Azure, and the two of them were actually really great friends. Like, they even have a photo here that says best friends. But then something would happen that would change all this forever. See, at some point, 2-time's beliefs began to grow more and more demented. One day, while 2-time and Azure were alone, 2-time would say, "There's just one more step for us to please our dear Spawn, for us to see the second life finally brought to fruition. Spawn will be eternally pleased at our devotion." And it is here where 2-time would take out a dagger and betray Azure.
What?
Now, again, why did 2-time do this?
Oh my gosh.
To receive
that's
a second
insane.
life. See, at first 2-time is regretful of their actions, but in milestone 4, you'll see the full version of the picture seen in the pocket of 2-time's shirt. It's the best friend's picture, but this time Azure is X'd out with text saying "Glory to the Spawn," meaning that at this point 2-time has lost it and has devoted everything to the Spawn. Now, even then, there are little glimpses of 2-time feeling bad for their actions. Like in the Nightshade milestone skin, it states, "It's not that I can't remember, it's that I don't want to remember."
Insane.
And even in all of 2-time's abilities, you'll notice Azure in every single one of his icons. Now, another thing about 2-time is that he literally has an ability to revive, but this only further enhances 2-time's belief that the Spawn cult is actually real. What he doesn't know is that his respawn ability is actually illegitimate and was given by the Spectre to feed them further into their false belief.
That's insane.
2-time is just completely unaware of their second life being illegitimate. He still strongly believes in the cult, as he's often telling others about it. And what's also creepy is that after he respawns, he actually keeps a smile and doesn't frown until he finally dies. And now, as for Azure, he more than likely will be a future killer, as he probably has a lot of hatred towards 2-time. Now, what is 2-time?
That'll be a sick killer.
Betraying his best friend. But another magic user in the survivors group is Dusakar.
Yeah,
so
Dusakar,
not much is known about
apparently
Dusakar,
Matt.
aside from his real name being Matt Desek because of Shaletsky. He is often seen rhyming a lot, and can get somewhat competitive with Cerulean, an upcoming survivor to Forsaken. As for his skin, we don't really know.
New survivor,
yet.
finally, bro.
So Toph is an interesting survivor. He's actually mute and communicates using hand signals. Like, even all his chat messages to the other survivors are just emojis. But yeah, he sees himself as Builderman's right-hand man, as he's actually a demolitionist who used to blow up and destroy the houses of terminated users at the will of Builderman. But now, there were a lot of Robloxians who protested against the act of destroying these homes due to accidental terminations. Yep, been there before, Roblox. And this did lead to demolitionists being hunted down by the angry protesters. And due to this, Toph would lock himself in his home with traps in case any protesters comes wanting vengeance. Yeah, like Toph even knows some of the survivors because, unbeknownst to them, he actually was responsible for blowing up their homes when they mysteriously vanished. As for where Toph's name comes from, it's actually short for for epitaph, which is a funeral oration, which is a short text that's written over a gravestone. Kind of morbid and dark. Cool. But yeah, as for what Toph's sin is, he did something really bad to Cerulean. Like, really, really bad. Cerulean
what was it?
also hates all the other admins because of this thing that he did.
Oh,
Chance.
okay.
So Chance is a well-known gambler. He's got a coin that gives him either buffs or
Let's
debuffs.
go gambling.
He typically has a smirk when he's
it.
over 50% health
dang it.
and a nervous expression when below 50 health. And now as for his lore, he actually used to be friends with iTrap, one of the people that hacked Roblox back in 2012. But in the Forsaken lore, iTrap actually helped free some wanted criminals. And now after the 2012 incident, the friends again would get arrested, but iTrap was not suspected. And so iTrap decided he wanted to free his friends again, as they were all arrested in the Bandlands. So he met Chance, as Chance's family is rumored to hold the key to the Bandlands. And now Chance, thinking that iTrap actually cared for his friendship, would become close with iTrap, despite iTrap only seeing him as a pawn. See, iTrap would try to kill Chance through many death games. And now why would Chance play these games? Well, again, he likes gambling. And now due to Chance's luck, he would always come out of these games alive. But one day after Chance won one of these death games, still thinking that iTrap was his close friend, Chance was about to boast about winning when suddenly iTrap stopped him. The two would disappear that night. Chance would then find himself in the world of Forsaken, with the last memory seeing of iTrap's hand becoming corrupt. So iTrap himself
so he's probably gonna be a
killer in the future.
Okay.
As for Chance's,
does every survivor get their own killer?
Like, so yeah, all these survivors have all committed some sort of sin to get themselves sent into Forsaken. A lot of them often having to anger the killers in this game. Yeah, I didn't really talk much about the lore of the killers themselves. So if you want to know,
that's the next one we're watching.
Below.
Oh my god, Survivor Skin, 43 minutes. We're gonna watch this one now.
Forsaken is the afterlife where the survivors must stay alive while being hunted. Once the timer ends, the survivors get a quick break and then must do this over and over again. Today, we're going to look at the hunters, aka the killers in this game, to see if they're actually all that evil, or they have just been wronged and now only want revenge. First up, Cool Kid. So Cool Kid is actually based on the real-life Cool Kid exploiter group, in which they would hack many Roblox games like work at a pizza place, but in the world of Forsaken, Cool Kid is just one person, a person with a dark history. Yep, so Cool Kid's description reads, an adopted son from a single father with a childlike curiosity, but with the strength of a monster. Yeah, if you didn't know, Cool Kid is actually 10 years old. He appears as a red, flesh-like humanoid that can kill fast and traverse fast. He is known for his associations with a vandalization group called Team Cool Kid. Yet, so Cool Kid's history starts off with him being adopted by 007 and 7 after Cool Kid was left on his doorstep due to having a skin condition. Yeah, if you didn't know, 007 and 7 would actually give up his life of crime to try to be a good father to Cool Kid, but that wouldn't last very long because Cool Kid would eventually find 007 and 7's old hacking devices and
how old was he when he found it, bro?
A lot of the times he would cause a lot of damage to Builder Brothers Pizza, which is a reference to Cool Kid in real life always hacking.
Did he really hack that? Was that a
you could even see in the background Elliot being distressed over there. Because of all the damage done to the pizza place, Cool Kid and 7 and 7 would eventually get blacklisted from the building, but not only that, at some point Cool Kid would go missing, with 7 and 7 trying to find him. Unfortunately though, he didn't succeed, and eventually 7 and 7 would wake up in the world of Forsaken. But there, also in the world, was Cool Kid. We're unsure as to how he got here as of now. We do know that the world of Forsaken is some sort of purgatory, aka the afterlife, that's run by the mysterious Spectre. Another thing about Cool Kid is that he's actually only 10 years old and he's unaware of all his actions. Yeah, he thinks when he defeats people that they're just sleeping or are tired from playing. Cool Kid also has a unique animation with 7 and 7 where when he kills him, he gently places him down instead of the usual animation where he just tosses them. Cool Kid also has a unique voice line with the survivor Elliot, in which when he defeats him, he says this. Again, hinting at how he used to cause destruction in the pizza place. Another cool thing is when 7 and 7 is the last man standing and Cool Kid is the killer.
Okay, it's kind of repetitive for
will actually
this,
start playing. Another sad thing about 7 and 7 is that he's not liked by most of the survivors in the world of Forsaken. This is because he revealed the truth about him and Cool Kid, and thus they often ignore him now. One by one by one by one. So a lot of his lore can actually be read through his description. The physical manifestation of pure malice, hatred, and negativity himself. The one who despises no one else more than the former admin Shaletsky. With the daemon shank in his hands, he can summon beings of rot from the deceased, as well as target survivors from afar, poisoning them in the process. Yet, so in real life, 1 by 1 was actually an urban legend that, was actually made by the real Roblox employee Shaletsky as a joke. It was revealed here in this post by Mr. Doombringer, in which it was called The Real Story Behind 1 by 1. It details how Shaletsky mentions the evil 1 by 1. Again, this was all purely a joke, but in the world of Forsaken, he's actually the physical manifestation of hatred.
I love how he makes all the characters look so cool.
Right here, like mass infection, it says blame blank Roblox admin. Yeah, again, this is referring to the Mr. Doombringer post where it says blame John. If Shaletsky is the only survivor left and 1 by 1 is the killer, the song Creation of Hatred will start playing.
Dang, bro, he's
in the world of Forsaken, Shaletsky hasn't told anyone that 1 by 1 is his own creation. This is because he's afraid
he's scared
survivors will abandon him and ignore him. Just like
they probably would, because I would too.
7. But now 1 by 1 is after
Shaletsky
and all the other survivors in this never-ending game. John Doe. So John Doe's description reads,
I'm actually kind of curious about this because he didn't talk about this in the survival video at all.
Courses through their body, consuming his mind as he now only focuses on one thing: to kill everyone in his path. So John Doe is actually inspired off of a very popular Roblox myth where a lot of people believed that he was going to hack all of Roblox on March 18th, 2017. There's a lot of people saying things like, don't play Roblox on March 18th. Now,
I was wondering about that.
Ended up happening, but in the world of Forsaken, if you do play the game on that exact date, March 18th, and you play as John Doe, his stats will be bumped up to a crazy amount. His health is now 318, 2025. His regular speed is 11,318. And not only that, John Doe now looks like this monstrosity over here.
Is that
the text saying, dude, I told you not to play on March 18th. Now, again, in the world of Forsaken, John Doe is actually...
that's not fair.
He's actually married to Jane Doe. But then something happened where a defunct code would end up corrupting John Doe into this weird creature.
So it's not even his fault?
Recognize anybody, like not even Jane Doe.
Maybe Jane Doe's going to be a survivor. That would be sick.
Towards her, but the Spectre made sure to block away.
Ooh, friggin' Spectre.
Fun fact, though, is that giant arm that John Doe has, he doesn't even use it because of how heavy and inconvenient it is. Another fun fact is that Cool Kid is actually scared of John Doe.
I would be too.
Because his father, 7 and 7, would tell him stories of the evil, corrupt John Doe. Now, as for John Doe's appearance, it's actually...
We're glazing John Doe now. That's okay.
Based off of this old script, it would just kind of jump scare looking like this monstrosity here. Funny enough, John Doe's original design in Forsaken was supposed to look like this.
Smash,
and
bro.
as for his wife, Jane Doe, she's actually going to become a survivor in the near future. Hopefully, she'll be able to get him to have a change of heart. Jason. So this is the same Jason from the movie series Friday the 13th.
Just the random Jason because he's so iconic, you know, you just gotta have him in there.
His skin is actually based off of the Roblox game Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51, which was an old game from 2014. And his description reads,
2014's old now?
Whose identity is covered by a crude hockey mask, wielding several tools at his disposal, along with his thirst for the cat and mouse chase. Yet you'll notice that he's the only killer without any range.
Why does he keep on killing the people in the lobby, bro? Like, leave him alone.
Because of this, though, he's also the fastest killer in the game. Another thing is, if you look at all of his abilities, you'll see quotes here. Make them remember. No place to hide. It'll be easier for you.
How do you even get here, bro?
Kill them. All of these are being said by his mother.
Of course.
In the movies and in the Friday the 13th game, it is actually Jason's mom that fuels his rage and need for vengeance.
Makes sense.
A quick lore about Jason is he once used to be in Camp Crystal Lake until he would accidentally...
Everybody knows this lore, bro.
...come back to life and seek revenge on those who did him wrong.
But how'd he get into Forsaken?
Just like John Doe, he gets a huge buff whenever the date is Friday the 13th.
Bro.
Unfortunately, though, Jason is soon to be replaced by another killer called Slasher. This is due to copyright reasoning. Though it seems like Slasher may look and play very similarly to the current Jason we know.
Okay, he's got to change his name.
So Noli is
Noli now.
up-and-coming killer of Forsaken. It's actually based on the old popular urban legend in which
never heard of this one.
If you went on Roblox and typed in Noli, there would be this account called the same name. But what was strange about it is that there was no Roblox character tied to it. On the location/last scene, instead of giving it a date or time, it would just say question mark. And when you try to click on the
why is it so blurry?
It would take you back to the Roblox homepage. Yeah, it was a very strange phenomenon that was.
So how do they know what he looks like?
People started theorizing what was going on with Noli.
I can't read this.
Putting weird text such as Noli will return. Yeah, there's even cults based off of this whole myth thing. Yeah, Noli is actually deemed to be one of the first myths in all of Roblox.
Wow.
But in the world of Forsaken, Noli was actually an exploiter who worked alongside 7 and 7. Together, they would hack and cause trouble all across Roblox.
All these troublemakers, bro.
Roblox is way more fun.
You know, I'm gonna slap the shit.
Cost money, and that.
But then one day, 7 and 7 would pressure Noli to take the Void Star. Now, this Void Star was actually said to help Roblox admins, but to Noli...
What is that price? Who is buying these? They sold out?
Roblox admins.
That's the biggest number I've ever seen.
But to Noli, it was turned against.
Oh, what is that
Noli
skin?
Would become corrupt by
Ooh,
this
I don't like that.
Star, and now all Noli wants is revenge against 7 and 7.
Okay,
yes,
so
6.
So everybody's hating against 7 and 7. Everybody, bro. All the survivors. Maybe not Cool Kid, but Noli too, bro. Poor guy. Like, I know he's pretty selfish, it seems like, but like, poor guy.
6. So this is actually my favorite upcoming killer. Guess 666 is actually based off of the iconic.
I've never seen him before.
Of the same name.
Wait, how do you have him in the
where people thought that there was an account called Guess 666 that could have admin powers in any game they joined, and that they also had the ability to ban anyone they wanted. In the world of Forsaken, though, Guess 666 was an average Roblox player. Yet they were actually best friends with Noob.
Yep,
but unfortunately,
we all know that
something would happen that would tear them apart from each other. Yeah, it was actually revealed that something extremely bad would happen that would just completely end their friendship. Noob would actually try to apologize to Guess 666.
Look at that character design though. Like somebody fully animated this. This is gonna be like probably what it looks like. That's sick. Honestly, I'm super excited for this. This guy looks absolutely terrifying. He kind of looks like John Doe's, one of his the retro, the blocks and beats skin. That's kind of what his skin looks like. That's actually sick.
Try to apologize to Guest 666. You can actually find his letter here. It reads,
yep, there's his letter. We've already read it.
I have no idea if this will ever get to you, but hopefully it does. Can we somehow meet again?
A million views on this video, and half of it is just repeating the things he said from the survivors. I'm just saying.
About text here. Why you disappeared. I was the one who hurt you. The rest of the letter is unreadable. It's blotted out. Yeah, so
who is blotting this shit out, bro?
Would never actually make it to Guest 666 because, unbeknownst to Noob, Guest 666 would get banned by Builderman. The Spectre would then take Guest 666 and transform him into this monstrosity. Yeah, his original form is more so supposed to look like this. Despite all this, though, Guest 666 does regret everything that happened between him and Noob, but unfortunately, Noob doesn't know what happened to him and thinks that they abandoned him. It's why Noob is often looking sad or distressed. Yeah. Some facts about Guest 666 is that he's actually jealous of Guest 1337, often thinking to himself, why can't I be like you? And then when Guest 666 sees Noob in the world of Forsaken, he says, that can't be them, my best friend? Azure. So Azure is another upcoming killer with another...
So I guess he is going to be the killer.
Yeah, they were part of a cult that worships the spawn, which is the belief and the ability to respawn or resurrect through it. But someone else that was also in this cult was 2-Time. Yeah, the two of them would actually be best friends. Then something would end up happening. Something very tragic. See,
of course,
would become very obsessed with the spawn, often thinking that they were hearing voices. And it got to a point that one day, 2-Time took Azure to an isolated area
and then he stabbed him.
2-Time would end up losing their mind, clearly devoted to the spawn, and they thought that sacrificing Azure would allow them to resurrect. And
Nope,
when
it doesn't.
did eventually wake up in the world of Forsaken, they technically did resurrect, and this does play with Two Time's mind.
2 more minutes.
Azor would also wake up in the world of Forsaken, but this time as a monster filled with hatred towards
Of course.
But at the same time, he also misses the good times he had.
I feel like 2 Time
Interesting fact about
should have been
Azor
the
is that he
killer,
likes
honestly.
to study plants, with his favorite flower being a nightshade.
Wow,
Funny enough, this flower actually represents danger and betrayal. This same flower, aka the nightshade, can actually be found in the milestone skin for Two Time. Another thing is, before they were stuck in the world of Forsaken, Two Time and Azor were actually confirmed to be a couple. And then another thing about Azor is that he was actually banned from his local Burger King for attacking one of the employees because they ran out of mozzarella.
Dude, I would do that, bro.
So Doombringer is another.
Who is this?
With an
Never heard of him.
interesting backstory. Yeah, he's actually based on the real life Mr. Doombringer, who's been a Roblox employee since 2013. But in the world of Forsaken, Doombringer is a former super moderator for Roblox that has since fallen from grace and turned
I like the name
to the dark
tag.
side. Yeah, in the lore, Doombringer would view the other
that's a
Roblox
really cool
employees
model.
like Builderman and Shaletsky as corrupt and too merciful on punishments towards hackers and rule breakers, and thus Doombringer took it upon himself to punish others. Yet he would become delusional on his beliefs as they began to corrupt them. Now, in the world of Forsaken, with the influence of the Spectre, he sees himself as true justice. He now works with a mysterious figure only known as Darkheart. This mysterious person is actually the one that created the Void Star. Yet there's a lot more upcoming killers, as well as some more lore hidden within their skin. So if you're willing to look more into it, let me know in the comments down below.
Okay, that's kind of insane. Shout out to this Flush guy. That's pretty cool for reacting to his video. I'm going to put his video in the description. But yeah, that definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend you go watch this video himself. Seems like a pretty cool guy. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Okay, bye.